I'd like to give a warning to young people about sex trafficking. Unfortunately, in our country, it is an epidemic and there's sex trafficking happening everywhere. It happens in small towns, it happens in big cities, it's all around us and you don't always see it, but it is happening. And traffickers are looking for youth and for young people. And when I say young people, I do mean boys and girls, although girls happen to be mostly trafficked, but boys are also in this day and age. And what traffickers are looking for are vulnerable youth. Vulnerable meaning that maybe they are depressed, maybe they have anxiety, maybe they have troubles at home and aren't getting along with their parents, maybe they're being bullied in school. And so they're looking for a vulnerability that they can exploit. Sometimes we hear about kids being trafficked. They are picked up off the street, thrown in the trunk of a car and taken off. And although that can happen, but that's not common and that's not how it happens so much in this day and age. What traffickers are doing are perusing all of the social media platforms that young people are on, whether that's Twitter, Snapchat, meeting spaces, whether that's gaming. They're also on gaming in those behind the scene communications that are going on there. Vine. There are many places that they're looking for vulnerable youth. And what they do is they reach out to the youth. They reach out with messages that are first pretty innocent. They have often looked to find out a little about you, whether it's information they gather from a profile that you have that tells them that you are interested in a sport or that you like a certain band or that you have an interest in a certain area. And then they work to exploit that. So they reach out to you and they'll reach out to a number of people and then they'll see who's going to respond. And so they'll reach out and say, hey, you're really cute, or I'm so-and-so. And they might say they're a teenage boy, but in reality they could easily be a 40-year-old man. And they keep that conversation going. And what they do is they build a relationship that they build on trust and helping you to feel you can trust them. And so they're often very kind and caring and really very interested in your interests. And they will ask questions. And so you really have to be careful because these people are looking for someone who they can suck in that way. And then what they will do is eventually arrange a way that you can meet them, because by then you have really felt like this is someone you can trust. I've had young people say, yeah, I met someone online and they just were so nice and so kind and they really are the only person who understands me. And in reality, that person could be who knows who. And so you really shouldn't talk to anyone you don't know. That's an important thing. But you also you want to be a little paranoid. You don't want to send pictures, because they can use those pictures later to really blackmail you. You don't want to, like if you would never walk down a dark alley by yourself in a strange place, in the same way you want to think about being in these chat rooms and giving information to people that you don't know. And so what often happens is they finally find a way to meet you and then you're stuck. Because either they continue grooming you and be that really debonair pimp, Romeo pimp, who gives you, gets your nails done, gets clothes for you, gives you a cell phone, or they're the gorilla pimp who immediately starts to beat you and really be aggressive and hurt you and say you have to do this. Both kind pull you away from people who support you and care about you and get you in a situation where you can't get back to people who really want to help you. So I just am really encouraging young people to think about who they're talking to. If you start to feel uncomfortable with the situation, make sure you talk to an adult, your youth pastor, your parents, whomever you trust, to let them know that someone is pursuing you in this way. You don't want to give out information like where you live or what time you go to sports or any of those things that they can figure out who you are and where you're at. So when you're talking to someone, again, you shouldn't be talking to anyone you don't know. But if you are, you don't want to give them your real name and those kinds of things. So it's very important for young people to be aware that there are traffickers out there looking for opportunities to exploit you in this way and get you in their grips and then to destroy your life.
Good morning, Mount Olive. We thank God for Cynthia